Yo, what's good, y'all? Little UFC 328 review. I watched it with Jaden, who I do the podcast with, No Neutral Zone. We did give like our previews and our predictions on how the UFC card went. I have my own little review because I think we're gonna end up talking about it on the pod. But I want to get my little mini review for my own stuff. So to kick it off, right, we had King Green versus Jeremy Stevens. I didn't get to catch King Green versus Jeremy Stevens like live in person, but I had watched the fight, watched the review, kind of just like got my input on it because it was a really quick fight. It ended the first round. Complete slaughterfest though, right? King Green just looked dominant the entire time. Jeremy couldn't even get over 10 total strikes off in the entire fight because King Green just honestly murdered him the entire time. Yeah, King Green barely took any damage. It was a really quick fight. It ended, like I said, in the first round with like I think an under a minute left. Like I said, he won by submission. Rear naked choke. Shout out King Green. He didn't get his bonus like he asked for, but he is gonna get his own like trunks. Dana White said. Next one up, we have Sean Brady versus Buckley. But again, another slaughterfest. Sean Brady killed Buckley the entire time. Just so many takedowns that Buckley tried his best to stop. The only issue is that every time Buckley tried to do like kick, like attempt to kick, Sean Brady would just like shoot the entire time, and it was working like every single time. I had mentioned on the pod that Buckley's takedown defense is not that good, and you're going against Sean Brady, who's one of the best wrestlers in the weight class. Yeah, Sean Brady had, and even though he was wrestling for majority of the time, dude, he had 240. What was it? Total strikes landed. While Buckley didn't even have over 30, because of just how dominant Sean Brady was the entire time. Sean Brady, like I said, how dominant he was, even with his hands, he was also obviously dominant with wrestling. He had over 12 minutes worth of just control time. Brady now, he's ranked 7 in his class, and I know he wants to contend for a championship. He's 33 though, and he was mentioning, I think post fight interview that like he wants to make right decisions to become a champion and not make, I guess, terrible ones. He was mentioning. He did mention that he's like 100% down to go against Carlos Paredes, because I think Ian is going to go against Islam at some point whenever they set that up. But I mean, Carlos Paredes versus Sean Brady wouldn't be bad. I think Carlos Paredes would still win that fight, but I would like to see that though, regardless, because I do think Sean Brady has earned an opportunity to at least get closer. He won by unanimous decision at the end because they just went all 5 rounds. But yeah, Buckley, he's still great. Don't get me wrong. It's just an unfortunate just L against Sean Brady. But I do think he needs to work on his takedown defense a lot, because that was just slightly embarrassing. But other than that, shout out that fight. It was actually really good. Next one up, we got Alexander Volkov versus Waldo Cortes Acosta. Very good fight, though. I won't even lie. I like to see the big boys, heavyweights, throw some hands, because like every hand they throw is a significant strike. And I'm pretty sure every single strike that they threw, both were significant strikes. They're big boys. I mentioned that I think Alexander Volkov was going to win this fight, and he did. It was close, though, don't get me wrong. Not really, actually. I'm trying to give like Waldo like some type of credit because he was throwing hands also. But Alexander's kickboxing really showed, because I think Waldo and Alexander Volkov's like strikes and even head strikes were close enough, but the real deal breaker was Volkov's legs, the leg kicks to the body. It was just so much for Waldo, and then a lot of the times Waldo would start to stumble a lot, because even Volkov would throw hands and then actually would connect a lot more than Waldo's was. Volkov now I think is ranked 3 in the heavyweight class, and I do think that after the Pereira versus Saragon fight, I do think Volkov should be next up if Aspinall does not come back within enough time. Obviously with his eyes injuries and everything. But if he doesn't come back, I do think Volkov should be next up between Pereira and Saragon. Overall, that was just a really good fight. Volkov won by unanimous decision at the end. Again, like a lot of these fights have just been kind of like not slaughter fests. Well, 2 of them were, and then Volkov, you can kind of argue, I guess it was, because he unanimously won. But I mean, Waldo did put up a good fight. Next one up, I won't lie, personal favorite, one fight of the night, Joshua Van versus Tatsuro Taira. And if you know me, I'm a big Joshua Van fan. He was phenomenal. Same thing with Tatsu. I think these guys are going to both be I think Tatsu's going to be a future champion at some point. I hope it's not beating Joshua Van, but I mean, it could happen. But Tatsu and Joshua Van, they put up an amazing fight. Could be fight of the year. I've been seeing that people mention that, and then I even think so because like that fight was phenomenal. Both guys, like I said, looked amazing. Van's boxing, it's definitely the best in their division and could be up there with the best in the UFC. He lands the most significant strikes within a minute in the entire like UFC. And like I think he averages like 8.84, which is almost 9, and then the next person up is like under 8. So it's a big gap, and he's already projected to be like past Max Holloway's like all time like significant strikes landed in a career. He's already like on pace to probably break it. This year he's gonna break the most in a year, or under like 11 fights or something like that. It's like Brandon Moreno's holding it right now, but he's on pace to beat it. I think literally in the next fight he's gonna end up beating it. Tatsuro's also, again, to give credit to Tatsuro, right? Amazing grappler. Like, I won't even lie. He's up there for one of the best grapplers in the UFC, one of the best, obviously, in the weight class. Just looked amazing, too. It was just unfortunate because Joshua Van also proved to a lot of people that he actually has solid to good takedown defense. He was actually defending a lot of Tatsuro's takedowns, and he even got some control time himself. He even tried submitting, which was not really a good idea. But I mean, if he actually got the choke, that would have been crazy. It was a really good fight. Van had 2 knockdowns. One of them, the first one, I mean, genuinely a good knockdown. Had him like, there was a picture. I'm gonna see if I can put it up. That like he just had him like dead pretty much. And then the second one, I'm so surprised Tatsuro actually got up from that. That was actually crazy. Like overall, it was just an amazing fight. Like I can't even lie. Like Van had 131 significant strikes landed, which is crazy. But like I said, Tatsuro's grappling was crazy too. He had 10 minutes and like 30 plus seconds of worth of like control time. Ended up Van winning by TKO in the 5th round, with like a minute and like some 30 into it. Obviously, the next fight's gonna be Pantoja. That's gonna be an amazing fight. He called him out, saying, make sure to get better, because obviously he wants to prove also to everyone else that, he didn't just win by a freak injury that happened to Pantoja. I do think with this fight, it really shows that it could be a good fight between Joshua Van and Pantoja, because obviously Pantoja is so big on wrestling, and obviously Joshua Van is so big on boxing, and like even with this fight, it was boxing versus going to be grappling the entire time, and Joshua Van won. And I'm not saying Tatsuro is on the level of grappling as Pantoja, but I won't lie, that's the best grappler that Joshua Van's gone against, and I think Pantoja is obviously better than Tatsuro, but it's like not a crazy gap, I do think it's going to be a good fight. I could see Pantoja winning his championship back. I mean, it's Pantoja. He was dominant before that freak injury. I mean, Joshua Van looks amazing. Whenever he goes against Pantoja, I think he'll be ready. I think he just obviously needs to just definitely work on the takedown defense, because I think striking-wise, I think Joshua Van has it. And if he just works more on his takedown defense, I think he'll be ready for Pantoja, and he could even win that fight. I cannot wait for that fight. I'm going to be excited for it. Next fight up, we do got Khamzat versus Sean Strickland, the main event. I mean, it was a great main event. I won't lie. Me, Jaden, Gabe, we were locked in for this fight. Funny enough, me and Jaden had a bet going on. Jaden had Sean Strickland winning this. I had Khamzat winning by submission. Obviously didn't come to fruition here, because everyone obviously had Khamzat winning, but Sean Strickland ended up winning this fight by split decision. I mean, it was so close. Khamzat won round 1, round 4. Sean Strickland had a great 2-round stretch with round 2 and round 3. I mean, my biggest thing, the fact was, like, I'm so surprised Khamzat didn't shoot more than, like, he shot, like, I think 20 times or, like, close to it or anything. I thought he would have shot 20 more times. I mean, you're one of the best wrestlers in the UFC. Best grapplers. And I just thought, why is he trying to have a striking battle with Strickland? And, like, that was one of the main things I mentioned on the podcast. I said, as long as Strickland can keep Khamzat on his feet and having striking battles, I do think he'll win. But I just didn't think that was going to happen, because I thought Khamzat would realize, hey, let me shoot every single time, might as well. But I got to give my props to Sean Strickland. He had one of the best takedown defenses versus Khamzat that I've seen. It was just crazy. They ended up, like I said, it was a split decision at the end. I mean, I could not believe it. Like, obviously, one of the biggest upsets, but that's Sean Strickland has been in those situations where he was one of the underdogs versus like Izzy, and then won that fight, obviously, and then now going against Khamzat, like he was plus 500, and then ended up winning that. That was insane. Now with Strickland being champion again, I do think the next guy's up could be another DDP situation, right? Or could be, I can't pronounce his name that well, like Caio Baralho, one of like the fighting nerds guys. Because he's also been on a good like little winning streak recently. I think he's ranked 4, and then DDP's ranked 3. Obviously, Khamzat jumps down to like 1 or 2. But yeah, one of those guys will probably end up fighting Sean Strickland. DDP versus Sean Strickland would be good. I mean, it's crazy that DDP beat Sean Strickland, but DDP lost to Khamzat, and then Khamzat lost to Sean. So weird little intertwine there of like wins and losses. If I had to rate the overall card itself, probably I'd give it a solid like 5. Like, I did like every single fight. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Even with the wrestling that was happening in a lot of other fights, like I did think that it was really good regardless. Even the prelims and early prelims and prelims I heard were like pretty decent too. But overall, yeah, like I give this card like if I'm talking about the main card itself, right? I give this probably a 5 out of 5. I think this is one of the better cards we've had this year. And the next, number UFC event gonna be UFC 329, UFC Freedom. Gonna be the White House card. That one's gonna be fire. I can't wait to talk about that one on the pod and even on here. I will mention it. And that was just my reaction to UFC 328. Just wanted to get my opinion out there for it. I will be talking about basketball soon, about the playoffs, how it's going, because I am very behind on mentioning about it. I've been mentioning again everything that I've mentioned. Like, I'll mention about sports or anything is on my podcast with Jaden. It's our podcast. No Neutral Zone. Go look that up. Go look into it. If you're into long form content, YouTube, even we have some like clips and everything on our like TikTok page. Go look at it. We talk about a lot of sports: NASCAR, basketball, football, baseball here and there, hockey, UFC. Now we're gonna talk about UFC a lot more. But yeah, we talk about a lot of other sports. Just tap in. Again, that's my review on UFC 328. I'm gonna catch y'all whenever I can.